How are we processing the current political tensions in South Sudan? Why is it important to separate the people from the government?
It's super important to separate the people from the government, especially tribes. Me being from both Dinka and the Nuer tribe, it's a lot easier for me to do that because I'm from both.
Right.
But I can understand how it's difficult for other tribes if you're just like fully Dinka or you're fully Nuer and you see that Dinka children were murdered or Nuer children were murdered back home. It's really difficult to not lash out on Dinka people or Nuer people. But we have to understand that there's people that are benefiting from us fighting. And those are the higher ups. Those are the people in power. When we're fighting and we're losing our lives and we're bickering amongst each other, they're still enriching themselves. I think that's why it's really important for us to not lash out on each other, even though that's the easiest thing to do. But these politicians don't care about tribe at all.
Yeah, I think ultimately the citizens are the ones that suffer. So it's like all of this political instability and fighting and the president and vice president and all these things. But the people are the ones that are suffering with not being able to afford food and just living in a country to where the focus is constantly on like whatever political parties are fighting each other. We can't even get to the point where we're building up the country. We can't even get to the point where we're talking about infrastructure or like agriculture or anything like that because they're fighting for power.
I think with tribalism, it's like a divide and conquer tactic because obviously there is an issue with tribalism, naturally, like we do, but they use those already existing tensions to spark tensions, and then they could take advantage of, resources when there's chaos. So I think we have to see the play for what it is and not play into what they want us to play into. And that's really important for us to see each other as humans, as people who are victims, all of us, whether you're Nuer or Dinka, victims of these politicians, and not letting them use us as pawns to fight each other.
Having one common identity as being South Sudanese is important because when you focus on tribes and tribalism, we're never going to come together and say, hey, we're all South Sudanese people.
Never.
And we the people demand change.